She was stepped on, kicked around, misused, abused. Nobody even cared about her. And she didn't care about herself. She wanted to look like another woman. She straightened her hair, not that something's wrong with it, but she used bleaching cream to make her skin lighter. She had no confidence in her God-given beauty. She was drowning in the cares of the world until our great prophet, Noble Jurali, took her out the cares of the world and put her on, as the brother said, that solid earth land. And if you notice the picture on the questionnaire, humanity is written across her room because there's 1,000 ways that man could leave here, but there's only one way that he can get back, and that's through that man with the womb. Just get it right. So, sisters, we're going to hold you up like you belong. We're going to put you on the shelf where you should be. We're going to respect you and love you and teach you how to love yourself, because we know you're going to pass that on to our youth and make them stand like cedars on the mountaintop. That's the prophet's goal. That's our goal. When the prophet came, the brothers said, oh, man, I'm going to marry her today. I'm going to jump the broom with her today. And next week I'll finish with that gal going back on. And he jumped the broom. Another prophet said, stop. I'm sending the marriage laws to all temples. That's not what she's for. She's not to be misused and abused. She's not to look at her faults. Look at your own faults. Right. What's wrong with you? I mean, she ain't this. What about you? She ain't. What about you? What about you? And sister, you got to hold your heads up even higher too. Forget about this fallacy that, oh, she don't know what she's doing. She's a woman. Who made that illegal turn? A woman. And we say that sometimes. Oh, she caused the accident. A woman. She's more yielding than wax. She's more flexible than air. There's nothing that can bind her. Nothing. If you're a chess player, you know one of the most powerful pieces on the board is that man with the woman, that queen. She can move any space. She's not restricted. Get over here. Get over here. The prophet told me that perfected man must pass through all the ways of cardinal life. So perfected means past tense. You already perfected. You just don't know it yet. The prophet told me that there's no failure for the human soul. You can't never fail. I didn't say that. He said it. He said there's no failure. So if it's no failure, then what you doing here? You won already. So what are you doing? You have to know that. You and I both have to know that there's no failure. You and I have to know that we're already perfected in the sight of Allah Almighty. But when we fail, that piece of knowledge was non-existent in many of our brains. So my unconscious Moorish brothers and sisters, no, we're not the same yet. Until you walk through the threshold here and say and proclaim who you are. No, we're not the same. So, Act 6 says that. Act 6 in your Constitution says that. He says, the prophet told me, he says, with us, all members must proclaim their nationality. And we are teaching our people, their nationality and divine creed. And we're teaching our people to wash away the Negro, black, and colored in here. With us means you and I. It don't mean our brothers and sisters who haven't proclaimed their nationality yet. Just like us. We didn't know. But when we found out, we proclaimed our nationality. Now with us. And that's the verbiage the prophet uses. Us. We. And every now and then you hear him say them. Them are those who spoke against the prophet. Those are, when he told me, are you with them? That's them. Us, our, we, that's us. us. And what that does is it unites the affection amongst us. It makes us closer with one another. And being close to one another ensures us a very Moorish society, if you will. Someone who could talk our language with. We can speak our language to one another. And our language is not a different language. It's not Arabiya. I speak about 6 different languages if I have somebody to talk to. But there's no other language like Moorish science language. Like Islam, we draw. What's the demonstration? What's the demo? Islam, well. Nothing like the way we talk. If you on a bus on a public transportation demonstration and you hear somebody standing around saying something, so that must be a Moor. How are you there? All is well. That must be, that's all that stuff is our language. That's us. The prophet said he preferred Moors. He told me that. He said, I prefer Moors. When you out there in the unconscious world, isn't it nice to get around your own brothers and sisters who understand what you're talking about? Especially if you start talking spiritual stuff. Well, I saw something coming out the wall. Oh, something wrong with her, something wrong with him. Why it's got to be something wrong with them? Every life force gets their nourishment from their ether plane. Their ether plane may not be the same as you are. We call it plane sometimes planet. But all life exists in all forms. The Prophet Noble Drew explained to me, and he told me that all of this information here, the 18 years of Jesus' life, the divine instructions from the Prophet Noble Drew, at one time it used to be a secret. Yeah, it was a secret. We talked about that earlier today. And you know, when something's a secret, don't say that. It's a secret. Marriage instructions for man and his wife was a secret. Duty of a husband was a secret. That was a secret. Insufficiency of knowledge was a secret. Gratitude was a secret. But it's so much meat in there to enhance for us to build our society that it makes you so powerful. That's why you single brothers who haven't obligated yourself to a queen yet, if you meet a Moorish American sister, you better be ready because she is double time ready. She is double time ready. She will check you with this. Used to be a secret. She will check you. And you better take that checking. And she's qualified to check you. You gotta have steel in your spine. You gotta have steel in your backbone when you with a Moorish American sister. Because she gonna tell you, the cares of my house is my whole delight. And to that alone I applied my study. She gonna tell you a whole lot of different, and all you can do is zip the lip.
This series and many others can only be found exclusively on Amexum. Quickly sign up with our 3-step process to get started. The link to access your trial is in the description below. We'll see you in the next chapter. Peace and love.
He explained to me that I was the marvel of the universe. Yeah, the marvel of the universe. Our prophet told me that I needed to raise my thoughts to a higher plane, to a higher level. I need to raise them. My prophet told me that there is no...
I am back. Thank you for continuing to listen. This is Build and Destroy podcast, hosted by myself, H. Rap B. I am speaking way too fast. And the reason I'm give y'all those little tidbits is not to convert you to another spirituality or something like that. Whatever you do that's making you be the best person you can be, you continue to do it. But the principles is what I try to share. Respect women, uplift women, and when you do that, you have no choice but to uplift your community, because then you have a responsibility. And that's all the brother was saying. You can be turned off. Oh man, I'm not with that. This, that, my kid, whatever. You can look at it that way, or you can receive what he's saying. You know, brother I listen to a lot by the name of Joe Madison. He always says, listen with your third ear. And if you would listen with your third ear, all that brother was saying was, if you get you a righteous sister who's on top of her game, you need to respect and pay attention to her, because if you do, she'll uplift you, put you in the best possible situation. That's all he was saying. And as I continue to show, we will continue along that path. As I was stating, man, earlier in the show, I played an excerpt from the brother Dr. Kwame Ture, aka otherwise known as Stokely Carmichael. And one of the things that he always talks about is the liberation of our people, and how you have to stop living and dying with the propaganda that is given to us in the United States of America. Some of the propaganda that's given to us is that Fidel Castro is this monster and things like that, and you gotta watch out for the evil boogeyman. Now, I don't know everything about Fidel Castro. I don't know a whole lot about him. I just go by what I read, and from what I understand and what I know to be true is, if you didn't know this, I'm going to educate you on this one tidbit, and I think it's extremely important. One tidbit that I'm going to educate you on is this. Do you know, as a United States citizen, you can go down to Cuba today, and you will be able to obtain a medical degree. I'm going to say that again. You can go to the university, and you can go down to Cuba right now and become a doctor. And we can do that here in Illinois, right? You can't do it for free. You won't get put up in housing and get fed every day, and you won't be put into a classroom setting, whereas it's not a competitive thing, it's a communal thing. And what I mean by that is, when you go to Cuba and learn how to be a doctor, one of the doctors that I recently heard an interview with, I heard an interview with her Thursday. According to her, she was a drug dealer. Well, she didn't even go into detail, but from what I gathered, she was a drug dealer. She was a street person. She called herself. She said she was in the streets, got her head on right, went down to Cuba, and she was excelling academically. And there was a person in her class who was struggling. And guess what the professor did? He said, because you and the rest of your classmates were happy with this person struggling while the rest of y'all excel, I'm going to fail everybody until they brought that person up to speed. Now, they're not going to get some buffoon in the class and who can't do the work and put you in that situation. But the fact that they took the time out of their lives to say, hey, if one of us fail, we all fail. That's exactly how the medical profession should work. Because if a person is struggling, you're going to run into a doctor. Everybody's not an A student doctor. So if you are in a situation where they all should be working together to save us. So when you are looking at these things, you have to look at this and look around your community. And when you see somebody struggling, you in the community help them. That's the only reason I brought this up. It's easy to say, you're failing, I did it, I made it, you should be able to make it. Or you could be human and say, hey, whatever you fail with, let me reach down there and help you up. Now, don't be no damn fool. I'm not asking anybody to be a damn fool. And you see somebody who's laying comfortably on the ground, not trying to strive at all, why would you waste your time? Your Bible tells you do not cast your pearls at swine, and that's exactly what that means. If someone isn't trying, don't you try. If they are trying, break your back to help them, and you will and always will excel. Trust me and believe it. Now, another reason to get into this voting thing. The voting thing is paramount simply because of this. We're in the midst of a pandemic, and we're facing racism while being in the midst of this pandemic. You, as a brother in this community, are struck with this. Do I want to wear this mask and live